What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about SoFi. Give you a quick overview of some of the data points, what drove it higher, and what shorts did. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So SoFi did go up 4.89%. Absolutely phenomenal day. New 52-week high of $11.30. A couple of different driving factors for SoFi today, one of which was piggybacking off of Lending Club, as well as manufacturing data did come in better than anticipated. So it shows more of a transition to a expansionary stage in the broader market. So very good for growth stocks such as SoFi. So it's kind of a win-win. You saw a lot of big transactions today, even as far as volume, 71.9 million for volume, 45.8 is the average. And these are some of the transactions that did occur on the secondary market above $100,000. Couple big ones, 1.8, 1.5. So this is like FOMO 2.0 still continuing, 11.2 million, and again, just a lot of big transactions. Some selling throughout the day, but I think in general, a lot of that caused this pullback right here, but still big money is paying attention to SoFi like crazy. And so yeah, it's kind of a good thing. We'll just have to wait and see. Even on a lot of my previous videos, a lot of people are asking, so what does this mean for SoFi for their upcoming earnings? Because historically, SoFi always does run up and then it sells off. But this time around, this earnings season, you're seeing big swings. So people's appetite for risk is definitely on the table, and that's very resemblant based on Tesla going up 21.92% alone today. So a lot of people are kind of wondering, what does that mean for SoFi? If they do have phenomenal growth, no different than any other time, will that mean SoFi will move up higher, or is it going to pull back? So I think that's the $1 million question. Based on some of the options being done today, it's interesting. So I'm going to go over that in a second. But shorts, they did increase 5.94 million shares today. 16.73% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 174.98 million shares. Cost to borrow average is 0.7. Utilization is 31.97. And then short score is 63.14. So yeah, this has been kind of the case over the last 2 days. Shorts over the last two have only increased roughly around 500,000 each day. So today's a little bit higher than that, but I think they're in for a rude awakening on what could really come tomorrow. But moving over to as far as options, $35 million in calls, 8.27 million in puts. And just between 1150 and 1155, there was 3.6 million in premiums. And clearly, as I've brought up in the past, that isn't retail. And if that is retail, I want to be your friend because that's pretty impressive. But most likely it is big entities kind of hedging. And like I said, that $1 million question, what is going to come with SoFi? If we kind of open this up and just take a look, it's a little bit bearish. So 1.4 million for premium, 638,000 on that kind of level right here. And a lot of them are generally either neutral, if not bearish. And that big one right here, that 1.4 million, it looks like someone did buy a $10 put for November the 1st. So most likely post their earnings. So maybe some entity out there is hedging that SoFi is going to have a little bit of a pullback. So something to keep in mind. But no matter what though, options is just merely a sentiment. It does not move the stock price. So just be aware of that. But of the call options that were being purchased today, you see a consensus for it to be roughly around that $12 or in excess of 12 or even $12.50 next week. So huge amount of optimism for SoFi despite that one very bearish 3.5 million premium one. Even looking here, it is anticipated for January 17th, 2025 for it to be above $13. So yeah, there's a hell of a lot of optimism. And with tomorrow being Friday, this is kind of how the open interest looks. Very small stuff, so no big walls. You're not going to see any crazy manipulation coming from shorts. So currently 21,000 at that 1050, then 28,000 at that 11, 9,000 at that 1150. So SoFi essentially is like, there's no walls. It can run up as high as it wants in theory. And if big money continues to buy at the same level that they have been, there's no reason that you can't see 11, 12, or possibly even based on that other option, $13. So what is your viewpoint on that? Right now, with it at $10.93, is trading between these 2 points, so the R2 and R3. So going into tomorrow, just watch for 10.70 to be this strong support, and then $11.13 is going to be the next strong resistance / target. Quickly moving over to IBKR, no new analyst ratings, nothing along those lines, and as of today, it is still well above the ALMA, 50, 100, and 200-day moving averages. Super trend, all very good stuff. As I've said in the past, as more of a kind of disclaimer, it is rather overbought, so the first sign of weakness you could pull back, but it won't be just SoFi. Pretty much every stock that I've been looking at is in that very similar circumstance. So essentially, yeah, if there's a kind of broader market concern that does pop up, you'll see just everything pull back, which in general isn't all that bad considering SoFi has ran up quite a lot. So over the last roughly, 1 month, up 40% or 41%. Over the last 6 months, 43%. Over the last 5 days, up 5.61. So SoFi is definitely, this is FOMO. This is the pure definition of FOMO. And speaking of that, actually Data Driven Investing just posted this recently, saying that literally this is the pure definition of FOMO, the fact that retail is finally just hopping back in. So when it's at the $6, $7 range, $8 range, retail's like, nah, not for me. But at the $10 range, oh, retail cannot get enough. So it's kind of backwards. This is why on a daily basis, I go over exactly what big money is doing, because big money will be buying, and most likely 2 weeks from now, they'll be coming out with all these articles and these new ratings saying, hey, SoFi is a screaming buying opportunity. And they usually do that after they've bought their share, right? So retail is always kind of late to the game, and it really does suck sometimes, but it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts on SoFi. Do you think that post SoFi earnings, there is going to be a squeeze? And do you think going over here, $13 is realistic by January? So yeah, what's your viewpoint? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And the only thing I just wanted to share with you is I did launch memberships. So if you like my SoFi content, want to support the channel, definitely do so. There's a tier for you. Or if you want buy signals on stocks and options, there's also a tier for you as well. So with all that said though, appreciate all of you watching.